So I received a Christmas card from one of my viewers, LLG, and I thought this art card was so beautiful. Whoops. So I tried painting it. So there it is. I'm going to call them the Three Little Friends. And if you want to join along with me, come watch the tutorial. Paints we'll be using today is yellow ochre, which I may call golden yellow, permanent red, titanium white, yellow medium, black, light olive green, ultramarine blue, crimson red, chrome oxide green, turquoise green, burnt sienna, and neutral gray. Paintbrushes we'll be using is a number 18 bristle brush, 1/4 angle brush, a number 1 liner brush. The canvas that I'm going to be using in this painting is an 8x10. Alright, I'm going to use a tiny little bit of turquoise green and a lot more white. I want to try to make this a very light background if I can. I'm also using my number 18 bristle brush, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. They come in a pack and they're less than 10 bucks. If you catch them on sale, you can get them even cheaper. So I'm just using a tiny, and you can see it's very tiny, and I used even wiped it off. And I'm just gonna go in here and I'm picking up just white because I don't want that green to be seen very much in here. And you can put this on any kind of way you want to. I'm just rubbing it in. And again, I'm just picking up a little bit of the phthalo and a lot more green, white. I want it to have like I said, a light background, but I don't mind some of that green being on there. And I'm just going to smooth this out so far. Pick up some more white. Tiny little green. Phthalo. Not phthalo. Turquoise. And I'm just kind of rubbing that in. You can see. And I'm just going to pick up white and go over it. I'm just going to go gently back over it and very lightly. Okay, and so I'm going to go off screen just for a minute, get some more white, and I'm going to do my sides. Alright, so I have a spot in there that didn't have enough, so I just picked up a little more phthalo turquoise green. I got phthalo on my mind. Turquoise green and white, and I still got a good bit on my brush. I just covered it up, and then what I did, as thought I was talking to you and I wasn't, I'm doing a sweep like this, and so I'm just kind of, instead of coming straight across, I'm just very lightly giving it an angle like that, and it's just very lightly. And then there's the start of our background. Okay, so I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm just going to come in here. I've dried this, and I'm going to come in here and just sketch me out a few little limbs that I can come off the canvas with, jumble together so it's hard to tell where the limbs is coming. There's no rhyme or reason. It's a background, and we're just putting some bushes in, and so you can just kind of sketch it like you want to. It's in the background, and it's just it's background noise is all it is. And so I'm just drawing, scratching some in. Like I said, you can do whatever you want to on them because it's just background noise. I just bring some in like that. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'll bring one up in here. And then we'll have some more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my #1 liner. I've got burnt sienna on my palette here. And I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to come in and draw in some lines. And this is going to be like I said, it's going to be background noise. So ever how we fill it in is fine. You can just draw your lines in there. It's a tree. That's all it is a tree. And you know, when you look at a tree, it has limbs and going all kind of directions. And I'm just going to turn these where I can get to them a little better. They're going to overlap each other, so it's going to be perfectly okay. I think I dropped something in my brown, and so we just bring it out. You can make some of them wider, you can make some of them thinner, it's whatever you want to do. Like again, this is just because of, even though it's background, I'm spending a little time on it just to get it like I want it. And I was going to show you how I draw the lines, but it's chaotic, and so that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Just do it chaotic, like you want to do it. And I'm going to turn this. I do have my canvas long ways. I've got the 8 by 10, so and I'm just going to turn it because I like painting flat, and because I like painting flat, I'm going to take that one up a little bit. It makes it easier for me to paint flat, but it also makes it easier to turn it. And I don't usually turn it a lot. Try not to anyway, but sometimes you can't help it. I think I'll make this one a little bigger. Let's put a little some in here, just coming down. We want the whole page covered. I mean the whole page, the whole canvas covered. And I'm just using the burnt sienna. I'm not going into a lot there, just a little bit. And we'll make this one thicker. And I'm going to bring it off my canvas so it'll roll into the canvas. And when I say that, I'm showing you I just brought it off the canvas there a little bit. Like I said, I've got that line there, but I can make it as thick or as thin as I want. There we go. And I just brought that down a little past where I drew the line, which is okay. And we'll bring this one off the canvas. And look, it just made some lines. That's noise. It's not going to hurt anything. Go back up this way so maybe you can see a little easier. I'm trying not to get my hands into the paint. I'll fill this one in a little bit more. Why don't we just bring some right along in here, because we don't know what's going to get covered up and what's not when we get it in there, but we want to get some of this going down in here. And as you see, I'm just doing it just starts somewhere and just ends. It doesn't, there's no rhyme or reason to it. And there. And I'm going to make this one wider because I've got my pencil marks wide. And I think I'm just going to bring a little bit down this way. Bring it off my canvas and right in here. Alright, so we just got a bunch of sticks on our canvas at this time. Well, I don't know why I washed and dried my brush, but I did. But that's okay. I'm going to pick up some of this brown, and I'm just going to start putting in some little needles, pine needles. And if I go over some of the branches, that's okay. It's just, we're going to fill in more, so. Got it gobbed on there. I don't want to gob that on there. And I'm just coming down. They can just look like they're just overlapping each other because that's what they're doing. I don't want to cover up all the branch on there, but I do want to cover up a lot of it. So, but right now we're just putting on some of the brown. That's looks weird. Just it's spaced out, but I don't want a bunch of brown. That's why I did that like that. And the next time I may come over in a different, instead of doing this one first and then that one, I may do that one. You just never know what's liable to come of it, but I think I went the wrong way with that one. It's okay. I don't know. Let's see. We're just putting, like I said, a few here and there just to get some paint on. Sadly, sounds like I'm just putting paint on, but I'm doing it for a purpose. Okay, and I'm just a little bit in here. I'm putting some, as you tell, it looks like she scribbled. I did. But my brown is getting low and I don't want to go back and get more, so I'm just kind of scribbling some of this in, and that's perfectly okay. There we go. And I am going to, well, I'm going to let this dry. All right, I'm back with my number 1 brush liner. I've got chrome oxide green, light olive green, and then I still have some white. And if I want to use some of the, I don't know, I may use some of this turquoise green in there. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to pick up my chrome oxide, and I'm just going to go in here. I think some of it still might be a little wet. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and then I'm just probably going to play the music because it's one of those that's going to take time. But I'm just going to come in here to this little branch, and I'm going to start putting some pine needles on. And I'm going to put them on at different lengths, but I also want them kind of thick on my tree in spots. So I do want some of the, as I told you, some of the branch showing. And like that right there, I can come in there and put some on that one, and it just kind of crosses over. So there's no rhyme and reason to them. They're just I've got the they're just jumbled together. That's all it is. And so if I want to come back in here and just put some, I can. And that's all I'm going to do, is just jumble them together. I'm going to use some of my light olive green with this, and some of my I've got chrome oxide green, white, and light olive green. And look, I don't know, I'm going to put a little of this, yeah, I might put a little bit of that turquoise green in there too, just to make it pop a little bit more. So I'm just going to put lots of colors all over this. This is just one of those, unfortunately, it takes time, and I've shown you how easy it is. It's just a little bit on your brush, and just come around and put your pine needles on your tree, and then you can just come back in with different colors. And they're just so jumbled because this is still a background. Believe it or not, this is still working on the background here. So that's why just take your time and do it the way you want to do it. I say just picking up a little white and coming in here. And it's one of those things, if you get too much white, you can always come back with a different color and cover up some of that white. And it's basic, just you enjoy it, the process, and do it how you want to do it. And so that is how I'm doing my pine needles. I am going to grab some more of this turquoise green because I like that color in there. And so we can just tie it all together, and I can bring some more of that in with it. So it's just one of these let's play type things. So I'm not going to talk anymore. Try not to. I have a tendency to talk, but I'm going to try not to talk anymore, and I'm just going to do this and let you see as I'm doing. I messed up here, and the reason I say I would put this on top and not on bottom. So all I'm going to do is just come in here and put some more in there. All right, let's get painting, y'all. have that done. It's my background, so I'm going to let that completely dry. Alright, I have crimson red on my palette now. I've got a pencil here that doesn't have much of a eraser. I'm going to dip that in my red. And then I'm just going to put some berries. On here. And I came back with a paintbrush because that wasn't doing it. Just using my little brush here. Circle till I get them in a little circle about the size that I want them. You don't have to have a bunch. You just want some in our background back here. Smooth them out. I'll just tip it down and turn it around and around until I get where I want to go with it. I'm going to come back in here and put a couple. Oops, I touched that one, so I'm just going to make that into two there. So we've got three all together there. Alright, so this needs to dry. Alright, I'm going to pick up just a little bit of white on my brush, and I'm just going to come back in and just give them a little highlight on there, on my little berries, but I'm also going to come into some spots and just put some highlights on some of these limbs. Just to make them pop out a little bit more. If I want to come in here, I'm going to bring in some, I'm going to take a tiny little bit of turquoise with it. And I'm going to come back in here and just put me in a, wipe that off because I've got too much turquoise, more white. And I'm just going to bring me in a little see-through spot and spots. because I think it's easier for me to do this so that I can, I put just a tiny little bit of the turquoise green in my white just so I could come back in some spots. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just want a little more light in there. I'm just going to bring it, even though it's got a little green tint to it. It's okay. I'm going to bring it in between my berries. Just a little dab of deer. I think about all. Yep. Okay. I'm going to bring a little bit of this in here. When you look at it, when I look at it here, it looks bad. But when I look at it at a distance, I see more light. I like that. And this is just some extra. I mean, you don't have, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. I just want to do it. Let this dry, and then we'll be back with the next step. Okay, so this is dry. I'm going to use my 3/4 inch bristle brush. I have some clean water here, even though the jar might look dirty. I still have some clean water, and I've got white, and I'm going to dip my brush into my white just a little bit. I mean, into the water, and get just a little bit of white on my brush. And let's see how this works. I'm going to rub this in. I might be got too much water on it. Let's just see. We're just trying to rub this in to make this a little lighter in the background. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm going to put like a fog, trying to get a fog over it is what I'm trying to do. I can just come in here real lightly with that now and wipe that off, and you see we've got like a little fog over it. So with a wet brush, I'm just going to put some more on here. I'm just kind of scrubbing it on there. A little bit of water, not much. And this is just plain, it's just white. And I'm going to just grab my paper towel here. I'm going to come back and I'm just going to wipe that off. And do it again. If I need to put on another little bit in here, I can. I don't want white. I want a little moisture to my white so that it'll just look like it's kind of foggy under there. I'm going to grab my paper towel again and wipe that off, any excess there. And let's see if I can, a little wet here because it looks like a little more there than I want. But this is just all in my brush. We'll wait here. A little water because it's wanting to not do what I want it to. Pushing it around, and then I'm going to grab my paper towel again and lightly just wipe it dry. And there is our foggy looking back. I'm going to dry this and we'll go from there. If that's not a foggy enough background for you, you can always keep doing that and put another coat on if you want to. I think I'm pretty happy with it because it's in the background. I've got the burnt sienna and I've got my #1 liner, and I'm going to come right across here, and I'm just going to make me a limb that comes down right along there. I'm just making it a little thicker there. And then I'm going to bring in just a little twig right here. And I'm going to bring in just pieces. That's all I'm doing. It's just some stuff in the background. Makes it pop a little more. So we got those little twigs in. And let's come back in here with I'm going to bring one right along in here. You can just make it uneven if you want to. That's what limbs are. And then I'm going to bring one right over this one. In there. Okay. And I'm going to bring a few right in here, just making them a little ziggly, wiggly. They're the unimportance of them, I reckon you could say. Alright, And then we're going to bring in a few little, a little vine. I'm just going to try to do this as lightly as I can. Wiggle it as much as I want to, and I'm going to let it get lost off the canvas. If you've seen that, I just brought it, wiggling it right off the canvas. And then I'm going to bring some more along in here. Let's go back into this corner. We can just do a little bit of a little vine here. I'll let it just kind of catch up with that one, be fine. And this one here can just kind of come off right here, so it's not just sitting there. And then we'll just put this one, we'll let it stop right along in there. Let that one come up a little bit, and we'll let this one come down a little bit. It's just giving us some other little things to play with here. Okay, let's see, we're gonna bring this one, I'm gonna bring it on over some more. And I'm gonna do a few little needles. I'll get it out in a minute. It might not look so fancy, but it's okay. I'm just doing a few. And then we can bring a little limb down here. I'm going to make this one a little bit more defined, and then I'm going to bring I think I'll bring a vine. Since we got that, we can bring the vine. Like that. And of course we'll make our vine come on out, and then we're just going to put some pine needles in here. Okay. We'll just do some pine needles in other places. We're going to make these kind of long. I'm just going to bring in some brown ones right in here. And we'll put in a few right up in here. We're going to come back in with some different color ones. So this is just our base coat color right in here. Let's do us another little limb right in here, and then we can put some on this one. Okay. And then we'll put some coming right along in here. And we'll work on that as we go. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to use I'm not going to dry it this time. I'm going to use my chrome oxide and my light olive green. So this is just going to take a little time. Getting our needles on. At this point, again, I'm just going to play music because I am going to put some white in here, and maybe some of that turquoise green too. I wanted to show you my brown was really has not dried very good there, and so I'm gonna have to come back in with some green, but I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more. And these seem to be dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and do these pine needles in here. Down in here, bring these a little longer so they can kind of lap over each other. There we go, because sometimes you just got to have a little something more in there. All right, I'm going to wipe my brush off. Okay, I've wiped my brush off. I'm going to pick up a little of this white, and I'm going to come in here with just a few little needles, if I can get them, just to put a little highlight in there. I'm going to wipe my brush off again because I'm picking up more green. I'm picking up just the white, and I'm going to come over on my thing here, and I'm just wiping in a little highlights on my vines here, and my branches of my vines. So that's where you're seeing me go now. I'm just doing some little highlights. I guess I'm letting my light source come from this way, so that's where I want my highlights to be, coming from that direction. And so I'm just coming in here very lightly. And then we'll just put a few along in there. And we'll come back in here and we'll put a couple. It's still tacky, so I'm sticking to it. And then I'm just putting a little more up in here, but I want a few down here too. Let's see, let's put a few out this direction. And then we can just follow our vine down. And I'm just oh so lightly just coming over my branch to give some highlights there. If I wanted to bring in a little more, I could. Just a little highlights here and there. That's perfectly fine. Now I'm going to make these go in this direction, so we'll know that's the highlights we got going on there. Let's put a little bit more right in here. Alright, and then I'm going to put some highlights on the top of that little branch there. And I got to turn it so I can get in here to this branch. I got to fix that yet. I haven't forgot about it. There we go. let's see, our light source is coming this way, so we're going to put it on this side. And I'm going to put just a few more in here. Okay, and then we've got one right here that we need to fix. Give him a little, got too much on my brush. Just give him a little highlight. Now, I'm going to come back in here with some green, and I'm going to fix this. Usually if your pine needles would turn that color, they're about to die. I don't want my eye tree is alive. It's enjoying itself in the woods. And I've got a little white that's blending in with this, making different colors, needles in there, so that's really good for me. To me, it's good. Okay. Now, I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to pick up my chrome oxide green, and I'm going to come in here and add a few little leaves. I think I'm going to put one right along in here. And I know that's blending in really, let's see. Let's add the, I add the green, turquoise green to it. So I've got chrome oxide and turquoise green, and that's what I'm just putting my little leaves here. And that's getting more see-through, so I'm just going to pick up some of this other one. We're not through with them, so let's see, we're going to put one right under here. I want it a little pointed. There we go. And then we're going to put some, we'll put one right along in here. And let's see, we'll put one, we'll come along in here because here's our vine. We'll put one along in here, maybe a little one. There we go. We'll get one right here. And we'll put one right along in here. Let's see. I think I might put, I think I'm going to come right along in here and put one. Let me get this turquoise green back in here. I think I'll put one right in here. I'm just drawing some little leaves, y'all. You see how simple it is. Okay, I think I'm going to bring my brown back in, and I'm going to come right in here off of this one, and I'm just going to making a little more defined. we can put a little there we go. And we'll come back with some shadow in just a little bit. But I think I will bring this one on down a little bit. Just a little something. I'm going to pick up some white and I'm going to start trying to blend some white in here. And all I'm doing is just rubbing it in to make it just in the spot. Have some highlight on it. That's a little bit too green. I mean too turquoise. I'm going to put a little more white on it. I put a little chrome oxide green with it. That's a little bit too well. Let's get some more of this here and put it in here. Just kind of darken them back up a little bit. Alright, this is where you got to use your paper towel a lot. Let's see, we can come in. This is our light source, so let's go right in here. Here. When I got too much, then I can bring it down a little bit. I can always come back in here, like right in here, and take that up a little bit more if I need to. And then if it's too much, I might just grab my other green, come at the bottom, and then just come up a little bit. Because I want it to be seen, but I don't want it to go crazy. I'm just going to pick up a little white. I still got a dirty brush. So, and I'm going to come up this way. Just let that kind of follow the leaf down. Okay. Just working on that a little bit because it's a little bit well, just trying to blend it in there. Alright, just want some different colors in there. Let's get this white again. I'm going to turn it a little bit so I can work from this side. And then let's see, we're actually going to want to take it down this way. I'm going to pull this, y'all. Turn it. I'm sorry, but I'm going to pull it down this way. And just grab a little bit more of our turquoise and bring it in. Got a little bit too much, so I'm going to pick up some of the darker green. If I need to, I'll come back in there with some more darker green. Alright, and then we're going to just come around here. And here. This one kind of gets a little bit more because it's right there at it. Alright. I don't like that one. That's the one that's got to be worked on. I'm going to bring in a little more green in here. There we go. So it's just a little playing back and forth with your colors to get it where you want it. My problem is here. I've just brought in some chrome oxide green. And I'm going to grab a little turquoise to go with it. There we go. Alright. So that is how it's looking so far. I'm going to grab some more green here. And brown, I'm sorry. I'm going to bring some vines down right in here. Guess I need to let that touch. Okay, and I'm just lightly touching to make it look like it's got little antennas out, because that's very lightly. So we're going to be putting some more little berries. So let's go in here. It just takes a little time to get it sometimes the way you exactly want it. And I don't know if you ever get completely happy with exactly the way you want it. I got green, I meant to get brown. I'm going to pull some of this down in here. I'll let that jumble together. And that one can just kind of do its own little thing there. I'm going to bring a little bit back up to this one, and they can just kind of hide behind the leaves, the needles. Pretty happy with what I've got going on here. Sometimes when you put vines go in the tree, they just kind of go crazy, and that's what we want to see. This one's just coming out from behind the tree there. I'm going to let that dry. Well, yeah, I haven't seen a thing. Do you see all my berries? I go berry crazy, and I'm sitting here talking to myself, just enjoying myself. Y'all, I'm going to show you what I did with my berries. I used my crimson red. I stuck my finger in it, and then I just rub it around and make my own little berries. So, unfortunately, I didn't get that on video. Sometimes it's hard to remember when you got it on and when you don't, and I cut it off for a reason. But anyway, you see I put lots of berries. You can put a few berries, you can put a lot of berries. I obviously like a lot of berries. I haven't counted them all. But I had to make myself stop because I love red, and I think it just makes it pop. I was worried about the background because I have never fogged one like that before. Well, I have, but not the whole painting like that. But I have to say I really like the foggy background with the leaves popping in the front. So I'm sorry. I'm going to blow dry this, and then I'm going to finish off my little berries. All right, I am using my zero liner brush, and I'm going to pick up white, and then I'm just going to come in here and let's see. I'm going to start putting on just a little white mark. I guess I should put it more this way towards my light source. There we go. This doesn't take very long. Doesn't take much paint either. That's a good thing. Let's see. I like that. You got that little one in the back there, fogged out. And we're just putting our little highlights on our berries that I finger painted, y'all. It was so much fun. I'm sorry that I didn't get y'all there to let you see all the finger painting I done. But if you are doing this and you have finger painted, with yours. You know it's so much fun. My granddaughter made a painting for her mom and daddy, and she did a little truck, and she made a little Christmas tree, and we put ornaments on it, and I showed her how to make the ornaments by using her finger and just doing the little circle motion. And then after she finished it, she went in there and decorated them, and it was really pretty. Okay, I think I have them all with their little highlights on them. And so at this point, I'm going to let this dry. So here's a picture. It's a Christmas card that was sent to us, and I shared it on Shumperts Hill, so if you want to see that, you can. But it's a Bradley Jackson photo, and I think that's really beautiful. I love the card. I was going to trace it, but my paper's too thick, and I don't have any thin paper. I need to get some onion paper, I reckon. And I don't have any carbon paper. And so there's no tracing it for me. So I'm going to have to come in here and kind of see if I can sketch it out. Because I wanted it little. But what I'm doing, because I'm not going to draw it on my picture. I'm going to... I've told you before, I watched Michelle the painter, and she said, do it circle motions. So there's that one. I hope that one's gonna, I think mine's too big. Mine would probably be better for the painting, because this is like a 5 by 7, where my painting is an 8 by 10. I'm just gonna bring this in, and I'm gonna bring this in just a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So that's one little bird. I'm gonna cut him out. This one, I'm going to, he's going to be slanting more. Let's see, let's get his belly under here. So what we're going to do is, it's never going to look exactly like the painting. The drawing is never, my drawing's never going to look like the I'm trying. It just takes me a little drawing it out, y'all. So I'll draw it out, and then I'm going to come back and show y'all what I'm doing. I'm awful at drawing. Here's my picture that I am using. And so there is my birds, as good as they're going to be. There is my, it's a oval shape. And sometimes I have to work on my elbow. And there's a circle. And that's what it, so if you look here, here's my little oval shape. And then there's my little circle. And then there's going to end up being his little beak right there. But we won't worry about the beak. We're just worried about getting this little connection here. So the male here is his oval shape. Well, I guess I could more oval there, and I may come out with a little bit more belly for him. Just round that off a little bit more. But there's his egg, and there's his head. And then I just put the comb up there, and I'll work on the beak. I'll work on the beak. That's minor things. The way she's turned is going to be a little harder for me. And I may end up having to trim her, but there's her egg and there's her head. And that's how I explain it. When I When I draw this, I looked at that. He's probably got his head turned a little bit more, but it's okay. I just sketch out, because I told you I can't draw. And I just kind of do me an egg. And then I put his little head on. And then you can work this. And you can work this to get him smooth out. And then we just did his tail I'm not worried about. So that's just an idea of how it's something easy to do on a piece of paper, more so than drawing it on the canvas. I usually draw it on the canvas, but I wanted to show y'all there's other ways. If you're like me, you want to paint, you want to try to make a decent looking picture. Hopefully, mine's decent. Other ways around it, and cutting it out has been easy for me. We're going to sit him along. Well, he gets to sit on my berries unless we put him right there, or we can sit him right there, or I can cover my berries up. But, yeah, that's might be what I do, is cover my berries up. If I do, I can always make more berries for y'all. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the rooster out. Okay, and there is my little hen. Actually, the hen's tail, the hen is down enough that the hen's tail comes under the male. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. That would tell me that I had put the hen on first. So this is actually my little, it don't have to be exactly, because if it's going to be exactly, it's not going to be something I can do. I'm just going to tell you. But let's go ahead and I'm going to start sketching these on, and I'll speed this up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some white here, and I'm going to go ahead and do this little bird so that we can see his outline. So I'm just going to use my little brush here. I didn't see that. Alright, let's see if I can see the lines. Yep. I'm just trying to trace it out. So let's see if I can pull you in a little bit closer. And that way you can see what I'm trying to see myself. Oops. There we go. Just basic white right now is what I'm trying to get in here. And I got to see, I'm sorry, I've got to get it where I can once I get it, I can yeah, I got to get it where I can see it, so I can I hate to do it like that, but I'm gonna have to do it like that so I can get the idea where I'm at. There we go. Okay. Whoops, there we go. I say whoops and then I say there we go, but the reason for that is so that I can I couldn't see it and then I got it. Let's see, we're just going to smooth that little line out right there, and you can see my little bird here. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have all those colors on the bottom, and that way we can see what we're working on. Okay, and I'm going to put his little beak, because he's talking to them. I'm going to put his little beak right there, so you can see him. Alright, let's move him, and then we're going to attempt to, I'm going to do that before I end up with a bath of it. I'm gonna come under here, and I'm gonna right. Let's see. I think I got it right here. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, that's okay. I don't have the green under there like it needs to be, but it'll be fine. Okay, let's grab this and our white again, and we're going to come around I'm going to come around this way. We're just going to, like I said, we're just trying to get that white on her body, and then we can go from there. So if you see, there's our part of our egg. It's got a little point, but that's okay, because we can do the feathers. And then we'll do her little head. Like that. And if I need to round it off more, I'll round it off more. But I'm going to pull this up, and then I'm going to come over with this. This is her little comb on her head. Kind of looks like a weird shaped thing on it. But that's what I'm seeing from the picture, so we're just going to get these on. And then we're going to bring her tail down to right along in here. Let's see if we can make it just a little wider there. And that's... there she is. Now, her tail, I know, is longer. I'm going to go ahead and dry these so that I can get him sketched in and put in there too. Paintbrush. And I'm going to see where I have him. I don't know where I have him. I have him right here, I know. It's sad. There we go. Okay. I had to just get some going, y'all, so I could see where I had him. He's right along in here. And he's along in here. So let's at least get some of his body going. Okay. These colors are dark, and my pencil is dark, and it makes it hard to see where what is. I do kind of have my birds on top of each other, but that's okay. I like a close-knit family. And the little bluebird is just talking to him, I reckon. Let's see now. I need to get him back so I can see where I'm at here. Alrighty. I'm going to come, I think I'm coming off around here. Right around here. And then we're going up, and then we're coming down with his comb. There we go. I might have him a little need to bring in his chest a little bit more. Males tend to be bigger than females anyway, so. And then we can bring his tail down. There we go. there's our little bird, our little birds. On my palette, I have neutral gray, ultramarine blue, and black. And I'm using my zero liner brush. And I'm going to pick up some of this gray. And I also have some brown, so I may pick up some gray and brown together. And I'm just going to come in here, along in here. And just kind of put my two colors down. So I'm not, let's see if you can see. I'm trying to just tap it in. I kind of draw me a little V out right here where I want it to go. And so I'll pick up one color and then I'll pick up the other. I think I want more gray than I do brown. And if I have to, I'll pick up a little white and come in here. Let's do some little different colors. I'm just going to pick up a little of the brown. I'm going to wipe my brush off when I do that, just so I can just kind of make it look. Like I want different colors in there. Using a lot more than natural gray. Wanted to, I could pick a little black, but very little black with this if I could want to. It's like I got some red in there, but I guess that's that brown. I'm just going to come down here real close. It's bumpy because of the leaves and pine needles and stuff underneath, but that's okay. I'm just trying some different colors out to see how it looks. I'm going to pick up a little white and a little black and just come in here in spots. It'll be different shades of the gray and the let's do a little lighter down here at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up some white. If I get it too light, then I can always come in, put some more gray in there with it. Right now I'm just rubbing that in. I want it darker around the neck. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab white and come right under here and give him a little highlight right under there. I think I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the black, tiny little black. Just come into here and try to give it a little more. I'll maybe pick up a little gray with it. Maybe I got it too dark. There we go. And then we can come right under this wing with just a little bit of the... I just picked up some more gray, so I don't like that. You know, trying to pull a little more darker in here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to pick up the black and I'm going to do his little nose, and I'm just going to come around, or his beak, I'm sorry. And I'm going to let that dry. That's just his little beak. So then I'm just going to grab some white and I'm going to come right in here and just put another coat on of white, just in a little area. I think I picked up the black. And just to get it darker right in this area. I'm going to add a little black to my ultramarine blue. And I'm going to see what kind of color that does. We're just going to come down and do some streaking here. Actually, I'm going to bring this up pretty dark here, and I can come back in with the white. So I'm just wiping. I picked up the blue and black. His head is so blue that it looks black. And we're just gonna, I'm not making this a line straight, so I'm just tapping some in there to make it look like little feathers. So that little bird has got to do some drying so we can put some little touches on him. I'm going to pick up my, come in with just, I'm going to pick up a bigger paintbrush. I'm going to use, alright, I have a 1/4 angle brush. And I'm going to try to come in here and I'm using, right now I'm just using the crimson red. I'm going to actually, since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and grab a little this gray, and I'm going to come down around his tail, which is the gray and red. And then I'm going to come right up in here. I'm just going to do some streaking in there. So we actually do want to come down I do want to grab some white, and I do want to come down a little bit with his wings. Okay. And I can use a little black in here if I wanted to. Might be got it too dark now. That's okay. We're going to come back in there with other colors. So we're going to put some in here. And I'm going to come under here. I'm washing my brush to get some of that off. And I'm going to grab some of the gray. And for her, I'm going to come right under here with the gray for her. And we'll do a little bit right in. Let's see. Trying to get the idea where her beak is going to be. I'm just putting some right in here. And then I'm going to put some over her little wing span here. We may do her little feathers a little different here. I'm just going to close hers in of what her feather's going to be, so that we can come back in there with other colors. If it looks a little different in the picture, that's okay. Alright, I'm going to grab my crimson red and my permanent red, and I'm going to do these two together because they're if you don't have crimson, you can add a tiny little black to your red. This is my permanent red. This is my crimson right there. And you can add just a tiny little black to it. But I would be very careful. I'd rather buy it. So I'm just coming in here with some permanent red. He's got no face. Yet. Alright, I'm going to brown some of the crimson red. Just touch that. And I can come back in with some of that gray if I need to. Alright, we're going to do this little, I've got the two color reds on me, but that's okay. I like to see what they can do when you mix them. Just coming over, picking up crimson some, and then I pick up permanent red some just to get my colors. And I love those colors. So I'm going to pick up a tiny little bit of gray with my red on my brush, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put some gray in here with his tail. And I'm going to come around his wing there, just so we can see that he make a division. And I'm going to come in here with some, just a little bit of gray, and I may come back in with a little more white. Yep. Grab a little more gray. I'm going a little gray crazy. Let's go a little more gray. Come right in here. Just to define it a little bit. And like I said, if I got too much, then I can always come back down with some more red. But I like that. Bring it on. I'm gonna pick up my. I've got the gray on me. I'm picking up some crimson red there, just to make a little darker in there. And then I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of the crimson, and I'm gonna actually I'm taking the heel of my paintbrush, and I'm gonna bring in just a little darker in there. Because I'm going to come back in with some light too. So there is our little bird, our medium, big bird, and then we got to work on her. Alright, I'm going to use my liner brush. I'm going to go back to my ultramarine blue, and I'm going to pick up a little white with that down and see if I can lighten it up just a little bit. I don't need a whole bunch, I just need to get some little lines in here now. We're just gonna bring them down a little bit. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some of this lighter right up in here. I'm gonna wipe my paintbrush off, and I'm gonna pick up just the white if I can. And I'm gonna bring him a little bit on his beak right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring a little bit, just really carefully, like in layers. Just kind of dashing it to make it look like the little feathers. And then I'm going to pick up just a little bit of white, and I'm going to come right on the edge of his tail feathers to give it that little highlight. And just dash a little bit in there. And that's happy with that. I'm going to wipe my paintbrush off, and I'm going to grab just a little white. I should have had white, but in case I had some other colors. And I'm just going to dash. I'm going to tap this in here to make it look like feathers. And there's my little blue bird. My little, I guess you call it a little blue bird. I don't know. He's blue and gray, but I'm happy with it. I'm going to pick up my #1 liner, and I'm going to pick up just the black, and I'm just going to put a little dot right there, because it's not much. Wipe that off. I'm going to dry it, wash it and dry it. And then I'm going to pick up white, and I'm going to give him just a little dot right there. And there's his eye. I'm going to go ahead and grab my liner brush, and I'm going to grab the black. And very carefully, I'm going to come along here and make me a little mask. You can see I'm just tapping. Easier to tap it. And just try to fill it in now. I'm going to bring it down a little bit more from his, I'm making it smaller, but I'm going to bring it down. And it's one of those things you can play with it and do it as you want to. I'm going to wipe my black off, but I'm going to use it up this way with my liner, and I'm going to put in a few little black divisions. Just to just the black a little bit, and I'm going to come in here and do just a little bit in here, and I'm tiny little bit. I'm going to come in here, just give it a little line. Then we can just very lightly put in a little black over around. I'm putting a little black under there to give him some shadow. I'm going to grab, I've got some yellow ochre, and I'm going to use my 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to use my angle brush, and I'm going to come right under here and start putting in some paint. Try not to cover all the gray up, but I do want to go over it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back over this. It just takes time when you're painting to try to get it, and I don't always get it the way I want. I see it one way in my mind, and sometimes it goes a different way. But I'm trying. I try to get it in the way I see it. Sometimes it's just you see it one way and it comes out another way. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to grab just a little bit of the gray with my yellow, and I'm going to come back under here with just my gray. There. Gives it that what it needs. Alright, I'm going to grab some more gray, and I'm going to come right under here, and I'm just going to tap it in. That's just some, I may need some more gray there, and that's fine. I'm going to wash my brush off, and I'm going to pick up some of this crimson red, and I'm going to come down over here. And I'm just going to try to blend that in a little bit. Okay, wipe that off. And then I'm going to pick up some more. And I'm going to come right in here. Right where his head is, and I may have to come back in there with some gray to divide them, and I think I will. So, I like that color though. I don't have to go too dark with it. We're just spreading some of that red. Let me grab a little bit more. I can bring it up in there a little bit more. And I'm going to grab some of that red, and I'm going to come around here on her chest. And if I need to, I'll grab some more yellow to go, kind of tone it down a little bit. The golden yellow. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit right up in here. And grab some gray. And we're going to go back in here and tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap my gray in. Try to make it look like some feathers. There we go. Pick up more gray, and I'm going to come right under here, and I'm going just put the gray in there. I'm gonna wipe my brush off and just grab some gray, and I'm going just a tiny little bit of gray on it, and I'm gonna come right in here. I'm gonna grab a little permanent rib with that too. Just there we go. So we can see the division for her and him. We want to put a little. I'm just making some little highlights in here for him. And then we can put a little, just so lightly, to give him a little. If I don't like those, it's just come back with a little more. A little more. I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to grab my permanent red. And I'm going to come back in his feathers just a little bit. Put some brightness in his feathers. You know, it's playing in and out, so that's the good thing it does. I'm going to just take this, and I'm not going to do a whole lot. I'll leave some of that highlight under there. And I'm going to do the same thing up in here. Just going to take some of it, not much. There we go. I'm going to grab some of this gray with my little liner brush, and I'm going to put a little circle right here. And then I'm going to grab that orange red that I made. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to come right in here, and I'm going to come down, come. And there's his beak. Too light for that, so I'm going to pick up some black and come in here and put that together. I'm going to pick up the white, just a dot, just a dot. Pick up my gray, my angle brush again, and I'm going to pick up the gray, and I'm going to come under here and tap. She's just got a lot of gray right in there. She has gray right in here, so, but I need to get that tapped over. It was fine. It's just wasn't over enough. And I want it a little bit darker. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to grab my little liner brush, and I'm going to grab the black. I'm just going over just a little bit. You can make it any kind of shape you want to. I'm just giving her a little black spot there. Grab the gray. I washed and dried my brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of gray in here. Okay, and then we're going to come back with just some of this yellow. That's all I'm going to try to do. Just put some yellow, rub it down a little bit. Grab this, my angle brush again. I'm back and forth, I know. I'm going to grab some of this permanent red, and I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm going to grab a little bit of gray just to do some little, I'm dashing them to give them a little line. That's all I'm doing, is just tapping. That was really simple. I'm going to grab my white, and I'm going to come in here and just kind of rub it in with the yellow so it can kind of turn that yellow color. There we go. I'm just tapping this, and that's making it look a little more ruffly. All right, let's get some more of this yellow in here, and I'm gonna bring some more yellow in here, and I'm gonna just kind of tap it in with the red, and it's that way. I'm gonna pick up some white, and I'm just gonna come in here and start dabbing some, tapping. Look, try to blend it in a little bit. I'm just rubbing some white in there. It's just one of these things, you've got to play with it to get it to the colors that you would like. I don't know if I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to pick up a tiny little black and wipe my thing off, and I'm going to come under here and give this a little shadow. And I might regret it, but I didn't. I don't think I did. I'm going to grab a little more permanent red and come up in here and do a little more right in here on her. Her little eye, I'm going to grab some more yellow and just kind of tap around in here. Because I know her face looks big, but I want to grab white and give her a little dot right there for her eye. Red and yellow. I think black has got to dry. I want to bring in some gray right along in here. And then I want to wipe that, and I want to bring in some white to tap in there with that. Just trying to put that little, and then we can grab some more yellow and tap in there. I know they don't have any feet yet. Alright, so I'm going to use the brown, and I'm going to bring him a foot down. Sam, might need to wet it a little bit. Okay. Alright, so I'm picking up some brown, and I'm bringing him a little leg in. And I'm just going to do it so lightly, and then I'm going to do another one. Just a little claw. What I'm going to do, just a crimson red, and I'm going to tap it down, make it look like little feathers on his leg. I'm going to use some golden yellow for her, and I'm going to stick her little foot right here. That's one. Can't see the other one. I think my limb is under there, and that's why you can't see it. But we could bring it right along here. I like the brown. It makes it look. Alright, now let's grab a little bit of that gray and tap. Wipe it off. Grab my gray and tap. Make it look like her leg come down. And there we go. She's got one stretched out feather, but she's got legs, so. I'm gonna get my black. And I'm gonna very gently, I'm gonna outline that a little bit, very gently. There we go. Just enough to give it some, just bring it around in here a little bit. I don't like that white sticking out of there like that, so I'm going to bring back some gray and tap some more in. There we go. And I'm going to take some crimson red and some bright yellow, medium yellow, and I'm going to mix it together again because I ran out. I'm not through with his beak either, I forgot about that. Compared to him, she has a big one. Alright. Very, very, very carefully, with the tiniest tip of my liner brush, I'm going to bring his beak. And then I'm going to get some white here to give them a little highlight on there. That's too much. Just a little highlight on her beak. On his beak. He's got some highlight here on his. Okay. Here, I'm going to put her little highlight on her right in here. And I'm going to put a little highlight in here for her. And then he's going to get a little highlight in here because of our sun. Alright, so and then you're good. I've got a little bit I can put on there for you. There we go. Just a little bit. He don't need a whole lot. Still going to get some of this white and some of this golden yellow. And I'm going to come in here and just do a little more something. I don't know if I did such a good job with her. I think I'm going to bring her wing around a little bit more right here. And then let's bring some more red in here and do a little bit more there. I think I'm going to grab just a little bit of black and give that a really light. Just a little highlight to give it some division. Really carefully with the black. If I can put her in a division in here. Then I'm going to grab some white and I'm going to give her a little bit of a highlight here. I'm going to rub that in, just to tap it in just a little bit. Lots of work to that, y'all. I don't hurt my feelings. So when you look at this, there's the card I received from LL Jean, and there's the painting that I attempt to paint. Not as good as Bradley Jackson. He's good, but I did what I could do. I'm a beginner, right? And y'all, that's what we're doing. We're beginning. I've never done anything like that before, so. Alright, I'm going to stick that over to the side. Grab my water a little bit. I'm going to water my black down just a little bit. And I'll wipe it off because I know I probably got too much. I think I'm happy with everything. And let's just grab I changed my mind. I'm going to grab a little bit of gray. And I'm going to put a little crescent moon over his eye and over her eye. Just to let that focus. It pops that eye a little bit more. All right. I'm rolling my black. I'm going to come right over here and I'm going to sign my name. Same thing it was last time I signed it. Jan. All right, y'all. That's my painting for today. So that concludes my little tutorial today. The three little birds. I hope you pick up a paintbrush and get to letting painting as much as I do. Y'all take care and God bless.